Yeah, I just wanted to say what I understood or what I saw. It's so I see that when I think that there is a boundary, it's because there is an image in my mind. So I imagine consciousness like often like a space, but it's always an image, right? So I imagine like a bubble around me, but it's an image. So I understand that it's not it, and I understand that my perception, my feelings, they appear thanks to consciousness. I mean, yes, and at the same time, it's so difficult to get rid of this image. Like it seems printed on my, I don't know, in my being. Like it seems so.
Yes, it's printed in your mind, not in your being.
Yes,
printed in your mind because, well, you're not very old, but for a number of years, your culture has reinforced the message on a daily basis, directly but also subliminally, that your consciousness, or that consciousness is derived from, located within, and limited to your body. Well, that idea, you've been breastfed that idea by your culture since the day you were born. So you're right. That image is profoundly etched into your mind.
Yes.
But it's not etched into your being. It's etched into your mind. So you're right. If your mind thinks about consciousness, the best it can do is throw up some kind of an image of a bubble, or an image of a bubble that has no borders to it, like a physical space. These are all attempts of the mind to imagine or describe consciousness. But what we were doing this morning was not asking the mind what it thinks about consciousness. We all know very well what the mind thinks about consciousness. But if we want to know about consciousness, we have to ask the one that knows consciousness, not the one that thinks about it, the one that knows consciousness. Now, what is it that knows consciousness? Consciousness. So, if you now don't ask your mind, but if you ask yourself, if you consciousness, you awareness, ask yourself about its experience of being aware, what happens? Does awareness say, I don't know whether I'm limited or not? That's what the mind says. But what is consciousness's experience of itself?
I feel like it's a tricky question because at least in my experience, it seems like the question is, and with all due respect, but it's meaningless. Like
no, it's not. Meaningless. It's
because I imagine limits in space, but consciousness is not in space.
You're referring to your mind. You say, as soon as you say I imagine, you're telling me what your mind imagines. I'm not interested in your mind. With all due respect. I'm not interested in the context of this conversation about what you imagine, what you think, or what you feel. I am interested in you, consciousness. I am interested in what your experience of yourself is. So don't refer to your thoughts, don't refer to your imagination, don't refer to your feelings, refer to your experience of being aware. You awareness, refer to your experience of being aware, and tell us if you find any limits there.
No, I don't.
That's it? Good.
And
that's it?
And at the same time...
So which are you going to believe? Who are you going to believe? What consciousness says about itself, or what the mind believes about consciousness?
Yes.
Because the rest of your life will depend on the choice you make. So think about that. Do your homework for the rest of this retreat. Take this one question. You've admitted that when the mind thinks about consciousness, it believes that it is limited. You've admitted that when consciousness refers to its own experience of itself, it finds no limits there. In other words, in its own experience of itself, it is unlimited. So you now have a choice, Thomas. Which of these two possibilities are you going to choose? And whichever choice you make will have a profound effect on your life. More profound than anything you have experienced to date.
Can I make a yes but? I agree that I don't found limits, but that's the other part. The other part that I'm not sure of. Like,
you're going back to your mind. I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, just because I don't find limits there, that's not proof that it's unlimited.
Yes.
You're referring to your mind again. Your mind is wriggling. Your mind just hates to face the fact that its belief about consciousness is a belief. And it has been mortally wounded by your admission that in consciousness's own experience of itself, there are no limits. And the mind has been the mind's beliefs about consciousness have been exposed by this recognition, and it is trying to claw back some credibility. But I'm not feeling in a very compromising mood today, so... Thomas, I've just asked you the most important question that you have ever been asked in your life. Now, I mean that seriously. Really think about it. Explore it. Because the conclusion you come to will have a profound influence on your life. It's beautiful, the question you've asked. It takes us right to the heart of the matter, and you're young. Hopefully you have a long life ahead of you. So this is the time. It's beautiful that you're asking these questions at your age. But go deeply into that one question.